Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Chris McGee. The young gentleman down there is big game James Worthy. Derek Fisher is here. Brez back from the road trip. Allie is with Trudell down at Staples. She'll get the post-game sound. 60 games in. Lakers have 47 wins. They kick off the big tough stretch of games coming up at Staples Center with a win over the Sixers. Next up, the Bucks on Friday. You all know I've had that circled. The last 5 minutes of the first half are some of the most entertaining moments of Laker basketball we've had in quite some time. We're going to get to that in a little bit because first we're going to go back downtown. LeBron is with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, I want to start out actually just asking you about Anthony Davis. The pair and the way that you guys have evolved, the chemistry, you saw that a lot on the court with various plays, but how has that grown throughout the season?
Every minute that we're on the floor, we continue to grow together. The most important for our ball club is that we challenge each other between the two of us. And, when we do that, we hold each other accountable. It trickles down to everyone else in the ball club.
Philly had opened up that lead, and then all of a sudden looked like you guys kind of flipped the switch in the second quarter. Was it just picking up the intensity? What was the change of the game?
We just stopped giving up, a lot of three-pointers. We finally started cleaning the defensive glass, and then we got some stops and we got out of range.
We know you have the ultimate green light from three. Frank's talked about it, the four-point range. You practice those shots, but that one was still a little bit deeper than usual. I mean, come on.
I work on it. It's not something that I don't work on. I don't shoot anything that I don't work on. So, like I said, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, the defense is never going to be ready for that. So I just felt good. I stepped into it and through the grace of God, I went in.
All right, and then finally, you had the dunk on the baseline. You've been talking about the whole hashtag Wash King thing. You still like to get up and kiss the sky once in a while. Did you think about anything else there?
No, it's always fun to be able to have a momentum play, and dunks and threes and, crossovers and things like that throughout the course of a game. A block shot gets the crowd into it. So, I've been fortunate enough in my career to be able to get the crowd on their feet and make plays for my teammates and result in a lot of wins. So I hope I can continue it.
Thanks, LeBron.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, LeBron James, spectacular once again, along with AD. Lakers, 120.
Yeah, LeBron James and AD once again played like the superstars that they are. Do want to start with what Mike talked about with LeBron. That second quarter, the last 5 minutes. The first half was a little sloppy at times. They came in a little tired. We kind of expected after the trip. But as I mentioned before, some of the most entertaining basketball we've seen in quite some time. They went on about a 25-3 run, James, and dominated on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, obviously Philadelphia a little shorthanded, a little slow start by the Lakers. But the second quarter, they really turned that up on the defensive end, only allowing 19 points in the second quarter. And that seemed to turn the whole game around as far as momentum was concerned. I thought AD, his energy was just contagious. And, the rest of the team kind of picked up. There's Bradley there with some tough defense, and they were able to get out and dominate, in the paint. 62 points in the paint. And the 6 blocks were dominant, but there were so many shots that were altered. When you go in the paint against the Lakers now, you think twice about floaters and layups that you normally would take. So I thought the second quarter defense was key to them getting out and, controlling the game.
Yeah, it's all about the defense, I think, for this team. When the season started, we were all enamored and quite pleasantly surprised with the lockdown defense they were playing, holding teams under 90 in a lot of games to start the season. Impossible to do that throughout the course of an 82-game regular season. But there's definitely been a little bit of just season slippage when you don't practice as much. Guys are fatigued, injuries, your defense starts to slip. But in that second quarter, you started to see those flashes of just suffocating the opponent. Couldn't get anything happening. Gets the Lakers out in transition where they're difficult to stop. 62 points in the paint tonight. That's really where this team dominates. Don't shoot the threes at high percentages most nights. The points in the paint, though, that come off the defense, that's really where they have to hang their hat.
I'm going to talk about AD, guys, and I wish I looked as fresh as he does after skipping a day at work, because he did not play in the game the other night in New Orleans. He had a little knee injury. He's been having that elbow issue as well. Seems like that day off really did him some good, because tonight he was great everywhere. 37 points, made 4 threes, 4 steals, diving into the seats to come up with a loose ball on defense. I mean, this guy looked so refreshed, and he wasn't that sharp in the Memphis game. And we were kind of talking last week about how he wasn't clicking so much down low in the post. He was having trouble against Boston, kind of getting pushed out of the paint a little bit. But tonight, I mean, you cannot argue with any of these numbers. 13 of 19 overall. That's a fantastic night for him.
Yeah, just 37 points on 19 field goal attempts, Brez, and the 4 of 5 from 3. And I agree with you. You saw it in that first half, the way he kind of inserted his will. He had it going on from the get-go. He had a different type of energy. I think that day off helped for sure. And in that second quarter alone, he was 7 for 7 with 18 of his 26 points. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks in that quarter. He was a plus 24 in that second quarter, James. Really an amazing number.
Yeah, 7 and 8 from the free throw line. That's what impresses me night in and night out. He continually hits his free throws. You know, you can trust him, down the stretch if he has to go to the line. But I said this earlier. I think he's learning from LeBron. I think. AD was a great player when he was in his former team, but I don't think he really has seen real leadership. LeBron the other night when AD was out of the game, and in previous games when AD's been out, LeBron has stepped up. So I saw a little bit of that tonight in AD, a little bit more physicality, a little bit more, here I am, I'm coming at you. And that's what we're going to need more of. A little bit of pit bull in that tonight, Peter.
James, it's crazy when you see that athleticism on display, too, what he was doing those last 5 minutes of the second quarter in terms of the steals, getting down the court so fast, leading fast breaks, and he's a 7-footer.
Yeah, I mean, we know he can do it, but I'll go back. He's sitting over there,
yeah,
and you're watching LeBron do it, and you're seeing a real leader who's done it. And so I think he picked up his tempo a little bit tonight.
Yeah, you can the great players can sense certain moments and certain opportunities where they need to go to that level. And I feel like he really, took advantage of the opportunity to say, okay, LeBron stepped it up in New Orleans when I was out. Okay, LeBron shouldn't have to step on the gas tonight. It's my turn to really elevate, get this win for us tonight, allow LeBron to just kind of cruise and do his thing and get his numbers. But AD took charge of this game, put it on his back, and everybody else followed.
Yeah, step one of a big 3-step process for the Lakers. For me, the most important 3 games of the regular season. Good job tonight. Undermanned Philly team, so not quite as big as it might have seemed a week or 2 ago. And then you have Milwaukee coming to town Friday. That's going to be fascinating. Lakers did not do well in Milwaukee a few months ago. And of course, the big Clipper game, a Clipper home game on Sundays. So the Lakers 1/3 the way through.
Brez,
a big
I'm really
test.
looking forward to the next 2 games, and I know you know that.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
Huge.
How many times have I told you that? All right, let's get you to Staples Center for the highlight. Plant and go.
Statue of Liberty extension for the finish.
7-13 after 60 games. Lakers, Anthony Davis, 37 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, a couple of blocks. LeBron James had 14 assists. He leads the league. It's looking like he's going to end it that way, too. 22 points, 7 rebounds. Let's head back to Staples Center. Frank Vogel is speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
Hey, Frank, when the energy flipped and the defense and everything picked up in the second quarter, was that just organic, or was there anything specific that you saw lead to the play change?
Well, I think we got down, in a game that we know we had to win, that we should win, with the amount of guys that they had out. And, we knew that they gave the Clippers a problem, 2 nights ago. So, I think the fact that we got down and, I think Avery Bradley's defensive tenacity, during that stretch set a tone for the rest of the group to get a lot of deflections. Anthony, on the backside was a little bit of a recipient of us speeding up their offense and, cleaning things up at the rim. And, that was a great stretch for our team, for our season, and, to see us be able to take over a game like that, is always a positive sign.
Frank, we've heard some consistent themes this season about encouraging AD to shoot more from the outside, maybe diversifying the place on the court where he gets the ball. Just his total offensive package, what can you say about that tonight?
He scores in a variety of ways. He's a threat in a variety of ways, and we are, continuing to wind him up from the three-point line to be aggressive in those situations. And, one of the best plays of the night was, the defender, I think it was Mike Scott, racing out to Anthony after he knocked down 2 threes, and just the lane being wide open, and he goes and tears the rim down. That's why we shoot threes with Anthony. Just to carry that threat. and then he brings gravity to everybody else attacking the paint. And if we can do that and have his length and another 7-footer out there on the defensive end, we can, have our cake and eat it too, so to speak. We have the offensive spacing and we have the defensive length we need, to reach our highest level. So that's an important part. But he was great in every way. He settled, I think, on his first 2 post-ups, and the rest of the night it was about getting to the basket and with his drives too. So just a complete performance, a great performance, and big key to the win.
Hey, Coach, when you're playing a team that is missing players, sometimes it seems like maybe the team's playing down to the competition, but I think, could it be more that they may just not have that kind of experience with those players? You as a coach may not know. You may not have coached against Shake Milton in a big role before, something like that. Am I onto something there? Is that reasonable, or is it just...
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go in. It's never an automatic win when you have guys out, and it starts with your human nature of, playing a weakened opponent. It carries on to the fact that the other team is going to have guys in there that, have opportunities that they don't normally have. So they're going to play with great energy and show their skill set. And then, like you alluded to, the familiarity piece is real, and it takes a little while to get accustomed to the guys that you're guarding, that that isn't a 10-year vet that you've been playing, all his strengths, his tendencies and all those types of things. And, we watch tape and we show them tape, of what it looks like, but it sometimes takes a little while, like tonight, to feel out those tendencies. So I think there's something.
I want to show you guys this, the Western Conference standings. We had mentioned James, Fish, and Brez. Through 60 games, the Lakers have 47 wins. You look at that loss column, 6 games in front of the Clippers, 7 games in front of the Nuggets, 8 in front of the Rockets. They're going to play the Clippers, the Nuggets coming up here. They're going to play the Jazz. They got the Bucks. So this is a tough little stretch, 5-6 games. But you get through that big game, James, you're looking at winning the West in a really good spot.
Yeah, pretty good time right now. These next few games coming up, depending on some playoff teams. It'll be a good time for them to measure themselves before they get ready for the playoffs. We know that they haven't fared well against teams that are some of the best defensive teams in the league. So they still want to, prove to themselves that they can play in those games. They had some tough schedule, travel. I know they had some injuries. But still, they want to be able to compete against some of the better teams coming up in the schedule.
Yeah, great opportunity to see where this team is right now. You don't want to peak too early. So I don't think it's about, must-win type of situations against some of these teams. But I do believe you want to learn more about yourself. And then also, like Coach Frank was just saying, some of the tendencies and certain things that'll come back out when you play certain opponents later. If you see the Clippers later in the postseason, the Rockets, the Jazz, things that you can hang on, that you can take advantage of when you see them in the playoffs.
Yeah, Fish, you remember either with the Shaq teams or the POW teams, maybe like a late regular season run of games or a particular game, one game in particular, where you're like, okay, and something popped up again in the postseason, kind of like the Lakers, maybe they see Milwaukee in the finals. So when they play them in a few days, there's certain things you need to look for, certain things you want to hide. How do you play this type of situation? Yeah,
most of our teams, we kept it pretty vanilla during the regular season. Phil really believed in, just doing the basic things really well. We saved a lot of our specials, our counters, certain things that we would do in the postseason. We didn't do those things in the regular season matchups. Your rotations are going to shorten in the postseason compared to in the regular season. And I think the great coaches and the great players don't put too much emphasis on a regular season matchup in March when the next time you see them may not be until June. Yeah. There's a lot of basketball to be played, and it really is always about you mastering yourself and your team more so than your opponent.
It's also fun to look at, by the way, just to go on a little different subject, Fish, we're looking at those Western Conference standings, that 8 through 12 spot separated by just 3.5 games. Now the Sacramento Kings have moved into 9th because they've been really hot. You got the Blazers. The Pelicans lost tonight in a close one to Minnesota. They went all the way from 9th to 12th. So they're all separated by about a half game or a game and a half. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that spot, too, because that's who the Lakers are going to be playing in the first round.
A lot of good young teams.
Yeah, next up for the Lakers, the best of the East against the best and the Bucks. They visit Staples Center on Friday. We'll have the game for you at at 7:30 here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Coverage starting at 6 with Lake Show, followed by Access Sportsnet Lakers at 6:30, leading you up to tip-off. Much more ahead. Anthony Davis sat out on Sunday with a sore right knee. He comes back fresh, 37 points and 13.
Change the oil.
I have no idea how to do either of those.
This isn't what you're talking about.
I could have changed oil if I had 7 days to figure it out.
Come on, man. You can change the tire.
No chance. I just
Come
got a flat
on,
tire
Mike.
the other day. You got to call AAA when that happens, right?
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Pretty much now you just push a button. It probably does it itself.
Yeah.
But,
By the way, 22 and 14 assists for LeBron, man.
collectively,
Yeah.
For LeBron, for sure. I'll let you hit on that. But getting back to the Bradley, they're going to need that as a team.
Yes.
You know, we're a really good talent team, but, you know, you got to get to, I'm not saying be, you know, dirty, but you got to be physical and meet force with force, and that's going to come for them. But the assist you're talking about.
No, I was just saying.
Amazing.
It's a physicality that you guys talk about all the time in the playoffs that you have to have because the games are going to be like that. And we have playoff tested guys that have won titles, so should be good there. All right, game high, 37 points for Anthony Davis. He's in the locker room with Mike.
AD, Frank was just talking about as your three-point shot has developed this year, and he's encouraging you to take him that kind of example in the first half where then you got the up fake and you drove him for the dunk. Just how much have you seen that grow as part of your game, and what do you think the impact of that is on the defense?
Just being confident with it. You know, just trying to be confident with the shot, trusting my shot. You know, I put a lot of work into it, and just probably taking game reps and, you know, work on it before every game, every day before practice. And, you know, I just, over the last probably month and a half, you know, I've just been very confident with it, no hesitation to shoot it. And like Coach said, you know, it opens up the floor for me, opens up the floor for the team. We get a space where teams are not helping as much. And, you know, when I'm able to knock down a couple, I'm able to shoulder pump fake and then drive and get a, you know, a layup or a pass for my team. So, I said just still being confident for the rest of the season and through the playoffs with the shot.
There were all kinds of highlight plays, many of which came from you and LeBron tonight. What sense do you get of the impact on the crowd and how you can ride that for momentum?
Yeah, anytime we make an impactful play, the crowd gets into it. We kind of feed off that energy. You know, they've done a great job all year of, you know, supporting us ups and downs. And, you know, it's our job to try to, you know, make impactful plays, not just for the fans, but for our team, and then get our team going, you know, which will get the fans going. So we had a couple tonight. I think, you know, my favorite is, you know, when Bron shot it from the other side of half court, knock it down. Then, you know, our celebrations is just, you know, just having fun. You know, me, Danny, and Vale, trying to find where he shot it from and, you know, stuff like that. Just, you know, being together, staying together, and having fun with it as well.
So you were, like, looking for evidence on the floor? Is that what?
Yeah, nobody knew what he was doing. We kind of know when he's going to do it, usually when he had, like, a couple in a row. You know, that one, I think I just made when I was running down, and I was, like, expecting him to throw it to me, and he just pulled up. And so it kind of, like, shocked all of us, and he made it, and we were all like, all right, where did he shoot this one from? So just try to have fun with it.
What's your confidence level when he pulls from that deep?
I'm very confident. He's made plenty of those against me in my career before I got here. So I know if it goes up, it has a high percentage of going in. And he actually he worked on those shots. And so any shot that he works on, I'm very confident that he makes. And, you know, especially when in a rhythm like that, you know, a lot of teams don't think he'll make it or it's a good shot for him, but he makes it more than he misses.
There aren't a lot of. Can you talk about Coach telling you that when you're shooting threes, how much that opens up the offense for you guys? When you see it working, when you see how well it works, what does that do for you in terms of being willing to do that more and to understand it?
It's just about, you know, me, I'm the type of player to try to, you know, play within the game and take the right shots. Even when I think I might be open, or the team might think I'm open, I don't really think I'm open sometimes, and, you know, I try to make the next play, you know, the right pass or drive, or, you know, sometimes I might pump fake myself out of a shot. So, like I said, it's just having the confidence of just letting them fly. And I've been doing a lot. Just, you know, if I'm open or got a little space in rhythm, then I'll shoot it and just try to have the other opponent, you know, respect me more from out there. But also, you know, I don't like to get too comfortable out there where I'm just standing behind the line looking for a shot. So there's got to be a balance, and I think I've done a pretty good job with that.
Last two questions.
When you got a chance to go up against one of the great centers and he doesn't play, you good with that, or you would prefer to see him in there?
And that's on them. I mean, he has to get healthy. And I think he's battling like some shoulder stuff. So no matter who's on the floor, we're gonna play our game.
How did in particular get you going in that second quarter? You really 7 for 7, you were all over the place defensively. Anything kind of change for you?
The defense, you know, the crowd, my teammates. You know, I started off really slow, missing some easy shots wide open, and you know, just trying to figure out, you know, how I can, you know, kind of get myself going. And you know, it started with the defensive end, you know, coming out and just being hungry defensively and making the right plays, and then you know, that leads to our offense. And once, you know, one guy got it going, kind of contagious, and we all just kind of got it going on offense. And but it started with our stops. You know, we were able to get some great stops, some big stops, and you know, make some, you know, great plays on the offensive end. So you know, anytime we get our defense going, our offense going, that's, you know, coming from defense, you know, we're a pretty good team. So we just got to make sure that we, you know, keep playing defense and keep blocking teams up, and it makes it easy for us on offense.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you. And by Lexus, the Lakers get the win, 120-107. They shoot 54%. They out-rebound Philly by 1. They have one more assist. Points in the paint's the big one, 62-34. LeBron finished with 22 points and 14 assists. He's now speaking in the locker room with Allie Clifton.
LeBron, the guys were back in the studio talking about how much, especially that 6.5-minute stretch in the second quarter, how much fun that was. How would you describe what we saw?
Got to be in shape. You got to be in shape for that last 6.5, because we was running, we was covering for one another, we was getting defensive stops, and then we was just playing with a lot of intensity, a lot of speed. You know, everybody was on the string. AD was going nuts. It was just, it was fun.
You talked to Trudell about momentum plays, whether it's dunks or threes. When you see AD fly over the first row, as he's done twice in the last 4 games, what does that kind of play do for the squad?
I really don't. I don't like it too much. I don't need my big fella jumping over seats. But the good thing about it, we home, and they'll catch him over there. You know, that's we one big family here. But you know, man, he just continued to get plays like that. He had that with the same kind of looking one in Golden State, where he flipped it to Kuz, and Kuz got the and-1, and then, you know, the same kind of play tonight, and I was able to, after he saved the play, I was able to find JaVale streaking down the middle for a dunk. So just some really good plays, and it starts with AD.
There's probably a point in your career where the thought of you taking a 40-foot three with plenty of time on the shot clock would not be something that would go through your thought process. What has brought you to this stage of your career where that is literally a shot that you feel comfortable with, your team feels comfortable with you taking?
Because my teammates see me work on it a lot, and I know I put in the work on it. I don't take no shots that I don't work on. I've never done it in my career, and you know, so you know, I feel like, you know, I work on it, and I trust my mechanics, and I'm able to, you know, let it fly with confidence, no matter what's going on in the shot clock.
Was there a moment in your career, or like in the recent history of the game, where a light bulb went off for you that could be a credible shot in the NBA?
No, I don't know. I mean, obviously the game is, you know, plays so much, you know, at the three-point line and beyond. You know, so I just think for me personally, just want to continue to have a growth mindset. However the game is changing, being able to change my game and also still be true to who I am at the same time. So just not trying to have any weaknesses.
When you're, what are the factors that go into you deciding whether or not to take a shot from out there?
I don't know. It just happens. It's just a feel. It's just a feel thing. It's just a feel thing.
Did you see? I think it was Danny and AD and maybe KCP. Yeah, JaVale. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When they was looking where I shot it from, I just saw it. That's what we were just talking about. I didn't see it during the game, but I just saw it, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
Jeannie Buss said last night that. Looking back at the season so far, that Anthony's been even better than she could have imagined. I don't know. How can you assess what it's been like to play 60 games with them so far versus what your expectations were?
it's everything I expected and more. And that's why I wanted him here. And when you get a generational talent like that and you have an opportunity to get him, just try to do whatever you can to try to get him. And and I gave my opinion on what I thought he could bring to this franchise. I gave my thoughts about the player, but not only the player, the person. And hopefully they took my advice to heart, and obviously ultimately they made the decision to do what we did in the off season. But I mean, it's no surprise to me. I already knew how incredible the guy is. He had 50 in All-Star game. I just 30s, 20s, 40s, and 20s he had when he was with the Pelicans, and just doing the things that he was doing. It was just like, at that size, there's not too many guys who've done that in this league.
Have you had a conversation with him or the team just in general about what this time means for you and kind of what that mentality shift is like for you with the postseason on
I
that?
haven't just yet. It's coming though, but they've seen my mentality as far as the way I'm approaching these games, and my demeanor has shifted a little bit. Just because I know what's on the horizon, but I'm still staying in the moment. But they see the way I just approach the game. The way I'm just trying to stay as locked in as possible. Even though with the regular season you still got so many games throughout the week or whatever the case may be, but there will be a time.
Is there something about, I was just wondering, is there something about playing for what you guys are playing for this year and knowing that it's a possibility that can fuel guys like you and AD to another level, even if you...
What are we playing for?
Having the championship in your sights and having that be something that's a realistic possibility.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the ultimate. I mean, but there's a lot of teams that's playing for that. But the most important is that you don't ever shortcut the process. The process is what's most important. The end result is a championship, but that's ways away. You can't. So right now we're playing for growth mindset and how we continue to get better throughout the regular season, how we can get better every week. And as the season continues to wind down, how we can get better as the playoffs start. So, the ultimate goal obviously is to raise the trophy. And we know that, but the process is what makes it even more sweeter.
Last question.
They started off hot, of course, but when a team's down 3 starters like that, is there a mental factor or a human nature factor that maybe you kind of overlooked them a little bit, and is that why, maybe it took you guys the second quarter to get back in that game?
No, we've lost the teams that have missed the starters this year, but at the end of the day, we're all NBA players. Everyone's an NBA player, and we all got here for a reason, so you don't never disrespect that. You don't never disrespect the game guys. You go out and approach it like everyone is in uniform for them. They're a very good team, no matter what. So, no, they were playing well, and but that's why it's a 48-minute game, and each possession has its own challenge, and just try to get better as the game go on, and we did that.
Thanks, sir.